Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's Echo Stretch here. In this video we're going to check out Linux on the PS4. We're going to go ahead and get it installed and change a few settings, but yeah, I thought I'd make a little video here, show you guys how to get Linux going, and we'll go right into it. A few things we're going to need. You're going to need a USB keyboard. You won't need it once the install is done, but to get it installed you need a USB keyboard, and then once it's installed you can switch over to your Bluetooth keyboard, wireless keyboard. You're going to need external drive or USB, and other than that you should be good to go as long as you have those. A USB hub is optional. I find that for me, I like having a USB hub plugged in, so that way I can, I can plug in. Say if I do get Linux going and I want to plug in a USB stick with a couple of pictures on it or whatnot, I can plug it in, access it, copy it over, and whatnot. So for what I'm going to be using is I only have one USB hard drive, so I'll be using a 1 terabyte hard drive. I'll be using just a USB keyboard, an old one that I found around the house here, and then once I get it installed I'll switch over to my wireless Bluetooth keyboard and mouse. We don't need a mouse for the installation. We just need a keyboard. We just need to type a command. And for the USB hub, I have a 6-port USB hub, so that's what I'll be using. The PlayStation only has 2 USB ports, so it's good to have a USB port or USB hub. If you don't, it's not recommended, or it's not needed, but it is recommended. So let's jump over to the computer and we'll get some stuff going there. Okay, so now that we're over at the computer, we're going to need a program for to make partitions. I'm going to be using Naomi Partition Assist. You can get it for free on the website. I will leave a link in the description, but you can see it's free to download. There's also the paid version if you wish to do that, but it's not needed. The free version will do what we need it to do. So we'll go ahead and minimize that. We'll go ahead and launch it, and we'll say yes. Okay, and as you can see, I'm using a USB hard drive. You can use a USB stick. I'm using 1 terabyte. That's not needed. You can pretty much do anything. The files are only 4 gigs or 3 gigs, so I'm not sure what the minimum requirement is, but you can get away with a 200 gig or even a 16 gig USB stick. Should work no problem, or even an 8. So you can let me know in the comments down below if you use that there. But it will be slower if you use a USB stick rather than a hard drive. But let's go ahead and do this here. You can see that it's GPT. We need to be basic MBR. So we'll just right click on it and we'll hit convert to MBR disk. Hit OK. And we'll jump up and hit apply and proceed. And yes. Okay, and it shouldn't take too long to go through that. There we go, we're done there. The drive needs to be FAT32, so we're just going to right click and just format it just to make sure that everything is formatted clean. As for label, you can leave that blank, just hit OK. And then we'll go up and hit apply, and then proceed. And yes. And we'll give that a few moments. It shouldn't go too long, depending on the size of the drive you're using. But if you're just using a USB stick, it should go pretty quick. Okay, so that is done. So now we're done with the partitioning program. We'll just close out of that. So I have 3 files here. I have the bzImage, the initrams fs, and the distro that we're using. We're going to be using Fedora 32. There's other distros out there that you could use, but Fedora 32 comes with Mesa 20, and I believe we are able to upgrade it to 21, as the other distros still have 19 on them, and I don't think there's a way to update them. As for the kernel, let's just jump up and we'll get these copying over. So we'll go to this PC, and just to confirm that we are FAT32, we'll just right click and hit properties, and you can see FAT32. Okay, so we'll cancel. I'm not sure why this computer's going so slow. It's just acting up today, I guess. So we'll go ahead and copy those 3 files over like so. And then if we go to this website, I will leave the link in the description. But you can see there's different kernels here, the 5.318, which is the newest one, and that's the one that I will be using. If it doesn't seem to be working for you, you can try 5.37. There's also an older one, which is 4.14, and I'll leave the link in the description for that. But general rule of thumb is to start at the highest one and work your way back. I know the first time I did try 5.318, it didn't work for me. It might have been something I did or didn't do, but I went ahead and did it again just to be sure on it, and it went through no problem. So you might want to just check that out. This is, as you can see, the tutorial here is, well, the files or whatever, it's still 6.72. It hasn't been updated to 7.55 yet, and that's what we're going to be using. So we'll go ahead and see how well it will work for us. Okay, so we'll minimize that there. We should be pretty much done here. 60 seconds. Okay, we'll give that a few more seconds here. We just need to rename that there file, and then we should be good to go. So 30 seconds. And if you're using a USB stick, it might take longer to copy these files, and even when it goes to install Linux, it may take even longer. My USB drive is just a normal SATA drive, but I believe an SSD on that external drive would be much quicker. I may give that a try. I do have SSD. I think it is 300 gigs. I might give it a go. Okay, so once we do have these here copied over, we just want to rename this here file. Our distro, we want to keep .tar there, but we want to put in PSX, put your fingers on the right place on the keyboard, PSX ITmania.tar. Okay, now that that's done, we can jump over to the PS4. Okay, so now that we're over to the PlayStation here, there is a few settings we need to change. So we'll just head into settings. We're going to jump down to System, and then enable HDMI device link, as well as enable HDCP. They both need to be unchecked. And then from there, we will jump up to sound and screen and go into our video output settings. Our resolution should be set to automatically switch to auto. We're going to change it to 1080p. Our RGB range will be probably automatic, I think, by default. We're going to change it to full, and then HDR and depth color both need to be off. Okay, from there we'll jump in to enable our internet here, and we'll get into an exploit page. There is a number of hosts that you can use. I'm going to go with our PRB's host. We had lots of luck with his host in the past, and I think we should just stick with that host. So I will leave links in the description for other hosts you can use. Whichever one works best for you, though, is the one you'll be using, I guess. Okay, so let's go into our bookmarks, and we'll scroll down. We're going to be using this one, version 4, update number 3. And cannot display page. And we'll just go refresh here. And there we go. It's installing the cache now. We'll give that a few moments here. Shouldn't take too long. In the meantime, if you like the video, please go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see future videos, I'm always trying to upload videos and trying to keep all the latest news updated. So if you do, just hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. I know I've seen people subscribing every day. The numbers are going up pretty quick, and I would like to thank you guys and gals for everyone that is subscribing. So now that our cache is installed, we can go ahead and turn off the internet and reopen to run the WebKit. So we'll go over to settings, turn off our internet, and then we'll launch our web browser here. And it shouldn't take too long. Hopefully we get it on the first go here with no memory errors. Sometimes it does happen and we can hope for it, but usually it's under the 5 mark. So we'll hit OK. This is our second one. I'm not turning off the controller. I know sometimes we do get that the controller drift error, but I've tried it previously and I haven't been getting it lately. So you guys can let me know in the comments down below if you guys are still getting the controller drift error. Could be my controller. Maybe it fixed itself. I don't know. But I did only have like a small drift there anyway, so it might be on and off. Okay, I think that was 3, so hopefully we get it under 5. Okay. Okay, so it's taking a little longer than usual. We'll let it go for a little bit. It shouldn't take too long. Usually when I call it quits is the time that it actually goes through. Okay, it looks like we are going through now. Hopefully it goes all the way in with no issues. Okay, found fake validation message. And looks like we got in. Okay, so we're going to jump up here to the exploit. We need to do the exploit. There is 3 versions. We're going to go with the newest one, which is June 3rd. We'll go ahead and click on that. And we'll give it a few seconds. It shouldn't take too long. It can take up to 20 seconds though. But yeah, while that there's doing that, we won't touch anything on the controller. We'll let it do it, and it looks like it went through. So we're going to jump over all the way over to Linux. So we have 2 versions here. We have the 3 GB Linux as well as the 1 GB Linux. So if you recall when we did Orbis toolbox there, whenever we launched the game, up in the right hand corner it had RAM and then VRAM. VRAM is your video RAM for your GPU. You have your CPU and then your GPU there. So what this here enables you to do, instead of you can go like 1 GB with your video RAM, and then that would leave you with 7 gigs, I guess, with your RAM. Or you can go 3 gigs with your video memory, your VRAM with your GPU, and then go the rest with the RAM. But for the installation, you have to go with the 1 GB. But later on, you can go ahead and switch that there. So at this point, what you want to do is grab your external hard drive, which I'm doing right now. You have 2 USB ports on the front. You're going to plug in into one, and then you're going to grab your keyboard. Let me just see here where the cable is. And then you're going to go ahead and plug in that. I did have my USB hub here. I'm not sure. Oh, here it is. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that into my USB hub, and then plug in my USB hub into my PlayStation. So now that I have both of them plugged in, we can go ahead and hit Linux 1 GB. Okay, and that there should load the payload. Your screen should go black for a couple of minutes. If you went through the options at the first there, the system settings, and unchecked everything, then we should get our screen back and the installation should start without any issues. So we'll give it a few moments here. I know we're getting the black screen, but it should launch right in. It shouldn't take too long. Okay, and there we go. Everything is coming in. We'll give it a few moments here, and we should get a command prompt, and we should be able to get it going for the installation. So there's our command prompt. So if you have your keyboard plugged in, all we need to do is type in execute, exec, then space. Then we're going to go with install dash psx itarch.sh. Click enter, and it should start installing. Now, depending on whether you're using a USB stick, external hard drive, which I'm using, but I'm just using a SATA drive inside that USB or that external hard drive. It is USB 3.0, but if you're using SSD, of course it's going to go a lot faster. So it can take up to 20 minutes. So I'm going to let that go, and I'll be back when it's done. Okay, guys, so we do have it finished there. We're going to just type in a command. While it was installing, I did plug in my wireless keyboard and mouse. Unplugged the wired keyboard. So we should be good to use the wireless keyboard. We're going to type in exec, pretty much the same command before, but we're going to, instead of install, we'll just use start. So we'll go start, or dash, psx, arch.sh, hit enter, and we should be loading everything here pretty soon. Give it a couple of seconds. There we go. Everything is starting to load, and we should get into the GUI. Now for that there command, we shouldn't have to type in the start every time. Now that it's installed and we do the initial start, we shouldn't have to do that there. Next time we go ahead and hit Linux 1 GB or Linux 3 GB, whichever one we use, it should just go straight into this boot sequence and start booting up. Okay, it's just there we go. Okay, found the video drivers there. There we go, and we're logged in. So, well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the right mouse. I grabbed the wrong one there. We'll go ahead and click on here. So our password is ITmania with a capital IT. And we'll go ahead and hit enter. We'll give it a few moments to load in. I guess I must have typed the wrong password. Capital IT and then mania, enter. Ah, okay, there we go. Not sure what happened there the first time. I thought I typed in the right password, but maybe I just got my capitals wrong. Okay, and everything is loading in. Everything is good. So as you can see, we are loading in now. There is a few settings that are completely wrong. We want to change the language for sure. As well as the language, we want to change the time. And the keyboard layout is probably Russian as well. So let's go ahead. We'll jump down here to the terminal. Go ahead and launch that. First thing we want to do is just change this background. I'm not a fan of the transparency, so we'll just click here, and then right over here you can see that's a transparent window. We'll just go with the regular black, and that should be good. There we go. Okay, so there's a few commands we need to type in. Let's start off with the language. So we'll go sudo nano /etc/locale.conf We'll go ahead and hit enter. It should ask us for the password, so we'll just type in ITmania, enter, and there we go. So we'll just jump over, we'll change this to EN, and we'll change one more, change this to US, and then we'll hit Control X for exit. And do we want to save? We'll just hit Y for yes, and then hit enter. Okay, now that is done, we'll just clear that out. Our next command that we want to do is we need to set our keyboard layout. So we'll just type in sudo locale ctl set dash keymap, and then we're just going to put in US. Hit enter. Now that is set. We need to set our time and date to the correct one. So if you don't know your time, or sorry, if you don't know your time zone, or we can just go sudo time date ctl list and then time zones. Oh, time zones. Okay, so if you scroll down here, you will find yours. I believe mine is America Edmonton, I should say. So we go down. There we go there, America Edmonton. So to get out of there, we're just going to do Control C for close. And then if we press up, we should be able to get it. Yep, we'll just, so we're just going to take out the S on time zones. Take out list. We're just going to put set. And we'll jump over and we'll type in, America slash, did I get everything there? Yes, I did. Okay, America Edmonton, and enter. Okay, so we can clear that as well. As for that there, now for the settings to take effect, we're going to have to do a reboot. So what we'll do is we'll just go reboot. And it's just going to do a basic reboot and launch us back into the PS4. Once it shuts down everything successfully, we will get launched back into the PS4. And then from there, we will just do the same thing. We'll get everything set up, and we should be good to go. So we'll give this a few moments just to make sure that everything boots in. And as we can see, the PlayStation logo appears. Okay, at this time we can grab our PS4 controller because that's what we'll be using just to get everything done. I believe you could use the keyboard and mouse if you want to do the jailbreak or to do launch Linux again, but I find it a lot easier just to use the controller. So as you can see, we never changed anything with the operating system. Everything is normal and everything is good. So let's go ahead and try to get back into Linux. Okay, so I got the exploit loaded. I was having a couple of issues there, actually just one issue. Every time I would boot into Linux, it would bring me back to the command prompt and not let me use the keyboard. Whether I had the keyboard, the wire keyboard, or the dongle for the USB wireless keyboard. So what I did to fix this issue, and if you do have this issue, for some reason, if you have the hard drive plugged in, and whether it's for what I was using, the USB keyboard or the dongle for the wireless keyboard, it just wouldn't load right. So what I did to fix this issue was I just I plug in the hard drive and I don't plug in the dongle until I see everything starting to load. So, and that there seems to fix the issue. But yeah, now we can load either 1 GB or 3 GB. If you're going in to play some games, you might want to use the 3 GB. But now that we have it all installed, you have the choice from using whichever one you want. For this video, we're just going to go with the 1 GB, and we'll go ahead and launch that. Okay, waiting for payload. Okay, and there's our black screen. So we should have a black screen for a little bit, and no signal will come up indicating that. So we're going to keep the dongle, the USB dongle, unplugged for right now. We're not going to go ahead and plug that in, not until we actually see stuff loading and everything's going okay. So there's my no signal, and right about now I should have it. Yeah, there we go. So it's going to start booting. Now I've already been in here. I did set up my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi is working. All the settings are correct. If your date and time isn't right, just give it a few minutes. Once you connect to the internet, it will adjust itself, so there's no issue there. Okay, and it's still loading. I see the hard drive flashing. I'm still going to wait until I see something come up, and there we go. There's our OKs. So we'll go ahead and plug in the USB dongle now, and we should be good to go. So we'll give this a few moments here to boot up. We can put the controller away. We won't need that anymore. We'll grab our... I have so many keyboards and mouses here. There we go. Got the right mouse and the right keyboard. Okay, shouldn't take too long, guys. There is a few things that it does have to load, but we should be good to go in a few moments here. Okay, and we should, there's our video screen getting adjusted. There's our gray screen, so we're good to go. And as you can see, everything is switched to English. We'll click here, we'll type in our password, capital IT. Okay, I have the wrong keyboard, don't mind me. I have 3 keyboards I'm running here, one for my PC, the wire keyboard, and then the one for the PlayStation. So capital IT, Mania in lowercase, we'll go ahead and enter. And we'll give that a few moments just to load us in. Okay, and there's our gray screen that it usually gives us before it starts loading the rest of the GUI. Okay, and there's our taskbar coming in. It does take a little bit to load. I'm thinking if you use a USB hard drive with an SSD in it, it probably will be a lot quicker. I'm just using a normal drive. Okay, so we have all our settings here. You can see that trash is in English. Everything is pretty much in English. I am connected to my Wi-Fi. I've had that there set up, but yeah, I can go ahead and disconnect or connect to other networks. The PS4 doesn't have the 5G. I'm not sure. Maybe the Pro does. Does Pro have? Leave a comment down below. I'm pretty sure the Pro does have the ability to connect to 5G. Okay, and it also has the Ethernet up here. But yeah, let's go ahead. The time is set. It is correct. It wasn't when I first came on. Neither was the date. So I just came down, clicked on the time here, and I set the date. But yeah, it just took a couple of minutes and the time came in. So let's go ahead and load up Chrome. We can actually bring that down again. Does take a little bit to load. Not sure why it's so slow. You can see the CPU cores, like it's not using much. I'm not sure if the RAM is here. So it has 6 gigabytes. That there's because we're using 1 gigabyte for the video. So it's not using very much for the RAM, and it's slow, right? So I'm assuming it is the hard drive. The hard drive's just not quick enough for it. You can run this off internal, but you come up with compatibility issues. So I'm not even sure why Chrome didn't load. Let's try it again. There we go. I probably have 2 or 3 of them open. Do I? Yeah, here they all coming now. Okay, well we don't need this one. We can close that one out. Bring up this one. We can check out ITmania, GitHub. Didn't seem to be taking this long earlier when I was on. When I initially came on. Okay, and it looks like we have no internet. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's like that. Let's go to Google. Maybe that host is no good anymore. Or okay, so Google loaded up, no problem. We'll just do a search for PS4s. And there we go. It loaded up quick. So it might be just something to do with that host. Maybe it's down or whatnot. But if you guys like the video, please go ahead and like it. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. For you guys that are subscribed, I really appreciate it. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video.